There are 10% of students at the King's University that will not finish their degrees, that will not return in their last year, all because of finances. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine getting right there to the end, hearing the Lord that you were supposed to finish something and you couldn't complete it? That breaks our heart too. And we want to do something about it. So what we've done is we have a project called Help Cross the Finish Line. You can be a part of that. You can contribute. You can pray for these students. You can tell others about this so that we can help them cross that finish line together. Take a second and listen to Felicia's story. Her last year changed because of donors like you that made a difference.
So last year, I lost my job. I was full-time work, full-time school, and a full-time caregiver for my mom. And it got really tough. I knew that God has called me to the Kings to pursue ministry, and I was willing to make whatever sacrifices I needed to make to do it. Of course, after the job loss, it just became almost impossible. I'm living on my own, responsibilities, bills. And I just didn't see a way that I could do it. Of course, God doesn't cause any confusion. I know that this is the journey that He wants for me, and this is my destiny. But I started maybe not, because it just seemed like it was so hard. But something just, this is your destiny, reconfirmation for me to continue. But I felt like giving up. 2 months turned to 3 turned to 4. Job applications after job applications, so many, and nothing. I would get a few interviews, and of course that within itself is very frustrating. But then the more I pressed into the Bible, the more I started realizing that, this is the position that God has me. This is where He wants me. I've done everything I could, on my end, tirelessly, applications and interviews, and so God has to do the rest. As time was coming, I'm looking at the cost of the education, and I'm like, I won't be able to graduate. I'm barely making it. And I just kept focusing on my classes, praying, and I received an email. And when I was reading the email, it was from the financial aid department. The email said that an anonymous donor has stepped up and donated to the remaining cost of your education. I don't even think I finished it. I just dropped down to my knees and started thanking God that my mind can now be at ease and not have to worry for once about my finances, and that I made it to the finish line. Students already make a tremendous investment just taking the time out to go back to school or go to school to study. I think it would be disheartening if they come so far and can't finish, and it'd be because of finances. Everybody has their own reasoning of why they're in this particular situation, but what's most important is for them to continue to know that, they've made some sacrifices, a lot, just to come back to school or just to go to school. And so it's extremely important, I believe, for the student to have some type of rest, knowing that there's other ways that they can get support. If something happened where they can't do it, then there's an opportunity for them to still be able to seek the funding or whatever they need so that they can complete their education.
You just heard Felicia's story. Isn't it amazing? I just see that as an opportunity that you can actually see the contribution making a difference. When you have the opportunity to give, it's an investment. We need you to help pray, to give, and tell others that they can make a difference as well.